Amazing! This is Thomas Sankara's wife emotional letter to Ibrahim Traoré. It is indeed reviving Thomas Sankara's legacy, and the reality of a dream he lived and fought so hard to realize. Hello everyone, and once again welcome to your lovely African home at Herein-Africa. This is a very exciting moment not just for Burkina Faso but to the whole Africa and indeed the continent alike. Here is Thomas Sankara's wife emotional letter to Ibrahim Traoré. In a deeply moving turn of events, Mariam Sankara, widow of revolutionary leader Thomas Sankara, breaks decades of silence with a heartfelt letter to Burkina Faso's Captain Ibrahim Traoré. Discover how Traoré's monument to Sankara has reignited hope, unity, and national pride in a nation reclaiming its revolutionary roots. Ouagadougou, Burkina Faso. The sun had just begun to rise over the city, casting golden light through the lace curtains of a modest home. Inside, Miriam Sankara sat at her late husband's desk, a faded photograph of Thomas Sankara watching over her. 37 years after his assassination, the pain of his absence remained sharp, but this morning, Miriam's hand trembled with a different emotion as she penned a letter that would echo through the heart of a nation. Earlier in the week, Captain Ibrahim Traoré, Burkina Faso's young and ambitious leader, had unveiled a bronze statue of Thomas Sankara in the city center. The monument, a striking likeness of the revolutionary leader with his trademark beret and defiant gaze, drew crowds from across the country. For Miriam, who had watched the ceremony from the solitude of her home, the event stirred memories and hopes she had long kept buried. Now, after decades of silence and exile, she decided to write to Captain Traoré, a gesture of gratitude, warning, and hope. A letter forged in memory and grief. But before we can get to the letter, kindly consider subscribing to our channel and be part of us if you haven't, and may God of heavens bless you more and more for doing the same. And thanks a lot to all our subscribers and for encouraging us to make more of such videos. May you be blessed abundantly alike. Now to the letter, here it begins. Dear Captain Traoré, she began. Forgive an old woman her tears. When I heard of the monument you built for Thomas, I wept not from sorrow but from a gratitude I have no words to contain. Her words, as heartfelt as they were heavy, spoke to a lifetime spent in the shadow of both love and loss. For years, Miriam explained, she had felt like a ghost in her own country. After Sankara's assassination in 1987, his name was erased from public spaces, his books burned, and his vision for a just and upright Burkina Faso declared foolish by those who seized power. The regime that followed not only tried to bury Thomas Sankara's body, but also his legacy. But Captain Traoré's monument, Miriam wrote, had brought her husband's memory out of the shadows and placed it where it belongs, in the light. She described her solitary dawn visit to the statue, how she pressed her palm to the cold bronze and, for a moment, felt as if she were touching Thomas again. Children gathered around her, eager to learn about the man who had fought for the poor. One young boy, born decades after Sankara's death, hugged her and declared, I want to be like him. Remembering a revolutionary love. Miriam's letter was not just a tribute to Thomas, but a window into their shared life. She recalled meeting him during the drought of 1983, when he was a young army captain rallying villagers to resist corruption, and she was a teacher struggling to give her students hope. Their wedding was a simple affair, a bowl of millet porridge and a vow to fight side by side for a better nation. As president, Thomas Sankara renamed the country Burkina Faso, land of upright people, and led by example. He sold the government's luxury cars, vaccinated millions, planted trees, and championed women's education. At home, he was a loving father and husband, debating philosophy and music with Miriam on their porch, dreaming of a future where no child needed to dream of food. But the revolution died with him on October 15, 1987. That night, soldiers stormed their home. Miriam shielded their sons as gunfire tore through the walls. The next morning, Thomas's body lay riddled with bullets in the courtyard. The regime called it an accident. History was rewritten by those who feared his vision. In her letter, Miriam described years of hiding, of friends disappearing, of her sons growing up haunted by the trauma of their father's murder. Yet, she wrote, the new monument had given her family, and the nation, a sense of hope. Women now left bundles of millet at the statue's base in gratitude. Teachers brought students to recite Sankara's speeches. Old soldiers saluted, and young people wore t-shirts declaring, Sankara lives. But Miriam did not write only to praise. She warned Captain Traore that the snakes that killed my husband still slither in the grass. Today, they wear suits instead of uniforms and wield power in new ways. She urged Traore not to mistake monuments for progress. Revolutions are not won with grand gestures alone. They are won in classrooms where girls learn to read, in clinics where mothers survive childbirth, in fields where farmers own their land. She ended with a story from Thomas's childhood. When locusts invaded his village, his father told him, start collecting. Locusts are food too. The lesson, Miriam wrote, was that hunger is a liar and that solutions are often found in our own hands. Captain, you've shown Burkina Faso how to roast locusts in a world that tells us we are poor, weak, and forgotten. You've held up a mirror and said, look at your strength. A reply that promises action. 3 days later, Captain Traore stood alone before the statue, Miriam's letter in hand. The city hummed around him, but he was lost in thought, tracing the smudged ink where her tears had fallen. He remembered his own mother, who sold peanuts to pay for his schooling, and the stories of Sankara that inspired him as a child. That night, Traore wrote back, Madam Sankara, your letter crossed the desert and found me. I am no Thomas Sankara. I lack his brilliance, his courage. I am just a soldier who grew up hearing stories of the president who gave his salary to orphans. But your words are a map. I will follow them, not to build monuments, but to finish what he started. He promised to complete the irrigation project Thomas had begun and to repair the roofs of girls' schools by the rainy season. You asked me to protect his memory. I will do better. I will make his memory unnecessary. A new generation inspired. The next morning, as workers repaved roads near the statue, a teenage girl named Fatima paused to watch. In her backpack was a tattered copy of Thomas Sankara Speaks. She dreamed of being an engineer, and though she didn't know it yet, she would one day design Burkina Faso's first solar-powered hospital. Above her, Sankara's bronze fist pointed to the horizon. And somewhere, Mariam Sankara smiled, knowing that the seeds of hope she and Thomas planted were finally beginning to bloom. This letter has made Africans happy at various cities in the whole world. To all youthful Africans, this is our time. Please let's live a life of dignity, embracing what the freedom fighters greatly yearned for. Peace, love, and above all, unity. It is unfortunate that we can't realize all those at minute, but through our daily endeavors of our engagement that can go in many ways, be it business, politics, or even religion matters. Kindly, if you haven't subscribed yet to our channel, please do, and may Allah God bless you for doing so. You guys make us all feel like we are a true family, and for that we always try our best to live the dream of realizing the hidden possibilities and amazing hidden glory in our long-loved and cherished African home. Welcome again. Have nice moments to you all.